is a bigger room and more people than I've ever been in front of for one of these, so.
Please give a warm welcome to Vivian Nixon Williams. Reach your moments. And say hello to Brandon Rogers.
Where am I sitting?
Just pick one. Please give a warm welcome to Bryce Pinkham. Say hello to Erica Lindbeck. And say hello to Morgana Ignis.
I'm on this side this
Last but
time.
not least, say hello to Georgie. Oh gosh.
I have a question about actually the first episode, not the pilot, the first episode. I had a little argument with my cousin for a while. The kid who says, and it's your husband's birthday, I think that it's his fault that the entirety of episode 1 started. What do you guys think?
The answer is maybe.
And then I also kind of had a different question. Would you guys rather eat a brick or a matter baby?
For a battery?
A matter baby.
Oh, an matter baby.
No, matter baby.
Oh, matter baby.
Was
Yeah.
it like a baby that matters?
I don't know what that means.
Nothing. What's the matter with you, baby?
Thank you guys so much.
The brick. We need the brick.
My name is Katie. Blitz's dad's name is Cash Buxo, so does that mean at one point Blitz's name was Blitzo Butzo?
I think so.
So, Bucko?
Buxo.
Buxo, fuck. I'm never getting it. All those O's are out the door, they're silent.
Coming from your acting work before and going to this medium, can you talk a little bit about how this experience has been for you, going from doing a lot of stage work and a lot of Broadway to this very different sort of thing entirely? Going basically from a very upscale Broadway audience to a room full of wonderful degenerates.
We have degenerates on Broadway too, don't worry. One of my favorite things about working on Broadway is actually after the show at the stage door getting to meet people and talk to people. And I always say, compared to, for example, on TV and film, we never get to meet any of the audience members. And so my favorite part of the Broadway experience is always meeting people who have just seen the show and getting to hear from them what they liked and what they came back to see again. And so we get little tastes of that. But a fandom like you guys, who you know the show and the characters as well or better than we do. I don't know, I saw some just incredible costumes yesterday. I heard from people who traveled the world to be here, and it's just a testament to this thing that we're all a part of. And unlike on Broadway, the level of commitment and love that you guys have for the show is just incredibly inspiring, and I'm honored to be a part of it. So thanks for having me.
My question is for the voice actors, if you guys have any tips for people that would want to get into voice acting.
My suggestion is if you really want to get into voiceover, to start with a workshop or a class. Hopefully someone from, or some people from the actual business, casting directors, agents that teach these classes. You can find Zoom workshops all over the place now. That would be, in my opinion, the first step.
I would say study acting in any way that you can. I didn't train specifically to do voiceover. I trained to just be an actor, to be human under different circumstances, which all of us can do.
Do your job!
Shut the fuck up! I actually
took classes from Richard. Yeah, and Richard's actually a very good teacher. You still teach, Richard? You do, right?
I do.
I know you're very busy,
Yeah.
but Richard's a great one.
Here's something that I find amazing. In the episodes that you've seen thus far, other than the pilot episode, none of us have ever been in a studio together. This weekend is the first time that Millie and Moxie actually met in person. Also, Stolas, it's the first time I met Stolas in person. Also known as Bryce. And Eric and I have known each other for a while, so we've seen each other a lot. But I think it's amazing. Doesn't it feel like we're all together? The way it's edited and the sound and everything makes it sound like we're all in the same room and playing.
Richard's the vocal director. For people who don't know, Richard is collaborative with a lot of the deliveries we do and a lot of the improv banter. Richard, and efforts. I learned what efforts are. I didn't know what efforts were. And that's when like when we're fighting. I once did a whole day of that shit. And so I didn't know that like voice acting you come in to just like grunt a bunch sometimes.
What other sounds do you have to make?
Oh my god.
How long did that take you, Blitzy?
On the Department of Making Sounds, you might surpass me. Most of yours are under a bleep, so I don't know what's going on. Something jelly sandwiches.
I'll never tell.
My advice would be to remain open to learning wherever you can, from whoever you can, but at the same time being persistent in your own confidence and your own willingness to try something new and different and fail and learn from that failure rather than equate that failure to being the end. It's actually a great sign. Failing is when you learn and when you grow in between that space where you fail and when you do it again, that's where growth happens.
And I was going to say, to piggyback on that, play, have fun, because when you're on the playground and you fall, you just get back up, right? And that's a part of that feeling forward, falling forward. It's not a failure, it's just another, scratch on the knee and you keep it pushing. Have a good time.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, oink!
We're done.
Guys, let's keep it professional here.
I know it's been tough. Just keep playing to your strengths.
I love looking out in the audience right now and seeing just how many couples cosplays there are of those two characters together. And I would love just like a dual question for both of you, since I have both of you on the same couch, talking about the beautiful relationship that Millie and Moxie have in this show.
Do you want to start?
No, you start.
No, you start.
No, you start.
I always get this casting for the African American girl, for the black girl, and I quite frankly sound like all the white girls I went to school with. And when I got the text for this show, I was so inspired. I put on high heels. I was pregnant. I put on high heels and a little short dress, and I squeezed my knees together, and I came up with some high giggly voice, and I actually read for Keeney the first time, and I auditioned for Keeney. And I recorded for Keeney, and I ended up getting called, and I booked Millie. They called me the next day, and they were like, "We actually want you to play Millie." And it was the most incredible news of my life to get to play opposite Richard Horvitz.
Hell yeah!
It's been really easy to find love with him because I fell in love with him the moment I got to step in that booth and he directed me. And so there was no digging, there was no pulling, it was intrinsic, it was natural, and...
I'm really blushing right now.
I too put on high heels. I am very fortunate because Vivian knew that she wanted me in the show from the get-go, and so I felt very fortunate that she let me be so involved with getting to direct, first of all. And when we heard Vivian Nixon come in and do Millie, both Vivian and I went, "Wow, that's Millie right there." So it wasn't a hard decision whatsoever. And for the development of Moxie, I'm really lucky because if you listen, it just kind of sounds like me. So, and I don't have to do this so much. So, that was nice. And getting to work with everyone is just like such a joy. There was that scene in the Striker episode where we could have gone the typical way where Millie really was into Striker and Moxie was jealous, but it was never that. You know, Millie's love for Moxie and vice versa is never in question. I said yesterday that one of my favorite moments is that moment where you're stuck in the bear trap.
I'm not strong enough.
Not with your hands, baby. Use what you're good at.
I'm not good with my hands? Oh, right. Yeah. I probably should have used this earlier, huh?
Someone said to me a long time ago that you always wait for the one or like the perfect one, and someone said, it's the person whose crazy matches your crazy. I'm very fortunate to work with Vivian, and look, I'm very shy. Okay. How about that scene between Octavia and Luna? Still brings tears to my eyes. It was so good. So good.
The other day I went hiking and I hiked up to Griffith Observatory where that scene takes place. And I was standing there and part of my dumb brain for a second was like, Erica was here.
The Phantom of Griffith Observatory.
My name is Dylan, Vegas local for 17 years. How did you manage to evade YouTube's like weird policies regarding all the content like swearing, blood, gore, you know, all that stuff? You just look like Susan at 20 or something?
I don't know. We do try to keep it relatively okay in the first like 30 seconds or like the first minute. But other than that, I mean, our next episode, the one that you saw the clip from with Moxie's father, that one has some boundary pushing stuff in it.
What do you think I'm into?
My name is Dio, and my question is for Richard. After so many years of doing like kid cartoons, how did it feel to do something for a mature audience to pretty much just be able to say the F-bomb anytime you want?
First of all, you should come to my house. and it felt like this. Fuck.
You gonna finish that fucking sentence, partner?
When I approached Wake Your Rep and everything for it, I was like, there's no way he's gonna do this show. I'm taking a shot at it, and I'm very, very thankful that you were willing to.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. It's turned out to be one of the best experiences of my life. These people are amazing. Vivian is exceptionally talented, and I would not have said yes. And Vivian, so you all know, I'll say this, you know, Vivian out of her own pocket, her own success, went union on our show so that we could all do the show. So I'm so grateful.
You continuously made us laugh our asses off with your material throughout the show so far. Well, you tore our hearts out at the end of season 1. Just absolutely just reached into the chest and tore it out as we're seeing more and more vulnerability going through those layers and the subtleties of the character. Yeah, this is heavy shit. How you've developed Blitz and how you have found those emotional levels to take us from just these insane, obnoxious humor that Blitz has to these absolutely devastating emotional moments with him.
Your defining trait is that you're an obnoxious asshole, which, let's face it, anyone who knew me, especially before Helluva Boss, this isn't much of a departure. One of my biggest gripes as a comic is that people think they see some flappy, tomfoolery gesture, and they think that someone like that doesn't have the capability of having their heart broken or having a bad day. Do they? What do they like when they go to bed? Do they even have bed? Do they sleep on their couch? Are they? You can't be the jester all the time. And so
I think it's really cool that we got to a point in Helluva where we do see Blitz at a vulnerable moment, and I remember like authentically getting there, and it was the first time I heard Richard also go there with me. I mean, it was this tone in his voice of like, all right, man, like we're gonna get through this together. It was, in a way, quite manipulative. It really got me.
I'm really not in the mood, Stolas.
We could talk, or watch a movie, or maybe cuddle.
Stolas, don't act like what we have is anything but you wanting me to fuck you, okay? You make that really clear all the time. But I can't do it tonight, okay? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wanted to go back in and re-record that as well because I felt bad because he says night and drives off. And I just felt really bad because you didn't deserve it. I know you did. Blitz maybe thinks you deserve it. I know you didn't.
I know you didn't mean it. But it still hurt.
I'm sorry.
Not in front of the people, kids.
It's getting so horny up here.
I feel the tension radiating from the other couches.
That's the vibrato of his cloaca right now. I'm not kidding.
You told me this was like a Nick Jr. show. I'm just learning stuff about this show.
You're in the wrong place, I'm so sorry.
This is not a Nick Jr. show?
It's not, no.
I'm on the wrong guy.
You've been on the wrong show for years.
How long was I out?
Harder.
Hello, my name is Colin, and I was wondering, for Richard, what was your favorite episode you did for season 1?
Oh, without a doubt, it's the spring because it's like that's Drunk Moxie. Drunk Moxie is one of my. Billy! You have 4 heads. Kiss them all. I'm so drinky. A human called me a possum.
I have a question for our beloved owl Prince. When you were recording for Stolen Things, you had talked in an interview about how it was strained on your voice because you'd been doing it all day. Can we have a little bit more information about that?
Anything you're doing in service of a character is coming through you. So if you're in denial of what's going on in you in that moment, then you're making an obstacle to your own authenticity. So I imagine it was the end of a long recording session, and I was probably feeling a bit, strained and strung out, and it was probably late at night. And that was probably great for that song. So I imagine that's, you hear actors say, use it. It just comes down to allowing your own self to be a part of the character. And in that moment, I was probably like, well, this is great for this song.
Yeah,
So I'll just
it was
use that.
beautiful, thank you.
Bryce always comes to the recording sessions completely prepared with these songs. I mean, that song, I don't know if Bryce remembers this, he did it in the full first pass. It was perfect.
I would love to hear from you on developing Stella's character in this series and your inspirations going into it.
I'm not a very angry person. But then on this show, I play a very angry person. Anger is actually an emotion that I really struggle to express. I can help you with that. Thank you. I get to do it now through my work. I get to get really fucking angry all the time. And I actually got the inspiration from my mother. I hope she's not watching. I have a very angry Polish mother, and even though Stella is not Polish, I definitely...
She's a very nice lady.
To you?
She's a wonderful mom, but I had the misfortune of meeting her at 3 in the morning. She was visiting and staying with Georgie, and I woke her up, and the look on her face.
Oh my goodness, yeah. She's a scary one.
Well, I saw Stella.
I love you, Mom. She's my best friend and the best woman on earth. But she's angry. So yeah, I do remember like when I was first coming into voice Stella, I was like, okay, all right, come on, Mummy.
Want to fuck this one too?
No, of course not.
You are a goddamn embarrassment. I'm not spending another moment looking at your pathetic, imp-sucking face! Fuck's sake! All your useless
Is the competition at the top so rough that us lowly small-time creators couldn't possibly achieve sort of success?
I mean, I would say that everyone starts from somewhere.
Anyone can blow up at any time. You know, it's not like back in the day. Like with the internet, everyone has a knife in their hand.
I used to suck. I arguably still suck. Art is subjective is all I'm saying. No, I'm just saying that like everybody starts from somewhere. I wasn't always like good at acting.
The issue isn't room at the top. Because if that becomes your primary focus, that's unquantifiable. And that's not really a determination that we can take proactive steps towards. But you can take proactive steps towards making the best art that you can make. Your goal, your determination has to be doing what you love to do, period.
Do you remember what you said to me after my first day with the company?
Not really.
I remember. You told me I did a good job and that you were proud to work with me. I feel like you wanted to say something more judgmental, but you said that because I needed it. And it helped.
How do you guys feel basically about this fandom and like how big it's gone? And
It's heartwarming, it's a loyal fan base, and it touches my heart greatly.
This has been really an incredible experience for me. I've never done a con before, and to come with this cast, first of all, that has Viv as a leader, and Brandon, and Adam, and you guys are awesome and supportive, and everybody's been so kind, and it's been a blessing, and I'm so happy to be here. Yeah.
I'm from the YouTube world, so I've done a million like VidCons and playlist lives, and I think the difference, no woo, no. The difference is that one crowd respects you for you and how famous you are, and one crowd respects what you do. It means a lot to me. It's a kind of just like gratitude that I've never felt before in my life. I mean, you all are so friendly.
I would say biggest surprise of my professional career. This project came out of the pandemic when, as a stage performer, I had zero work. Honestly, for me and my family and my creative being, it just was an incredible buoy to hold on to in a very difficult time. And so this will forever have just a very special place in my heart, and that extends to everyone here.
Similarly, I would say this is one of the biggest surprises of my professional career. I thought this was a furry fighting game. I legit had no idea what this was. I fell ass backwards into this project, and I'm honored to be nominated, happy to be here along for the ride. Thank you guys so much for the support. I love voicing Luna so much. Like, she's my id, so, you know.
Thank you to everybody. Let's give one more round of applause for everybody.